So sorry if the camera angle isn't as straight or centered as I want it to be. I'm doing this on my downtime here at work. But welcome back to the channel, Culture Confederacy. Here it's Friday, and you know what that means. Time for another Oddly Friday news episode. And I've got to talk about what's going on with Nick Fuentes and this whole debacle with Tucker Carlson. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. So, the president of Heritage Foundation. I'm thinking of the theme park Heritage USA from back in the day. The PTL scandal. Well, in a way, you can kind of say that, you know, all these groups like the Heritage Foundation or PTL, not PTL, but the Heritage Foundation, Turning Point USA, Daily Wire, they're all cut from the same cloth. And in a lot of ways, they remind me of televangelists from the 1980s. They do. They remind me of these televangelists from the 1980s. Send us the seed money, and God will bless you. Send me that extra $100 so I can fly my private jet, and God will bless you. Anybody remember Peter Popoff? Now, I'm not accusing anybody here of anything, but I'm just saying they've got that vibe to it. Just saying that vibe of being like these televangelists back in the 80s. But we got some goodies today for our Oddly Friday news segment. But it was funny to see the president of Heritage Foundation come out and make a statement. And now Tim Pool's jumping in the mix. So I thought I'd jump in the mix here. So we're just going to combine everything in one in this video today. But you got to be kidding me. You know, whatever happened to just going out there and saying what you believe without having to label yourself as liberal or conservative? Seriously. Why do you need to call yourself a liberal or a conservative? I think it's a little bit narrow. Now, you can have your views on abortion or on immigration. You name the issue. I'm independent. But you should really be using logic and reason to figure things out, and that in itself is conservative. You see, the problem with these people, though, is they can't think outside the political box. You have to be for America and for Israel. We have to send all this money to Israel, even though the Constitution, what we should be doing is what is in the Constitution. And if it's not in the Constitution, you really can't do it. And you know, if we brought, and I've mentioned this for a long time now, trying to get the words out, but I've mentioned this for a long time now. If we brought everything back to the states, started seriously limiting the power of the central authority, we wouldn't have as many problems. We wouldn't have as much division. And the problem I see with Turning Point USA is I think it's an organization that was pretty much built on sand. Philosophically, I'm not saying financially now, but philosophically, it was built on sand. They were going to network through all these colleges, you name it. And I think it got a little too big for the time period. A little too big for the britches. And I wouldn't doubt within a year or two, Turning Point USA, it's going to turn out like Starbucks coffee. Remember how Starbucks back in the day was building all these Starbucks? They'd have a Starbucks across the street from another Starbucks. I mean, hell, you go to a mall and there are 5 Starbucks, one at each wing of the mall to bring people in. So I think we can go down that road. And I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a Turning Point USA merchandise store. Did you hear about that one? So they actually had I think it was the Owing Mills Mall or something. Somebody can correct me in the comment section below. This was way back in the early 2000s. Somebody called into Tom Leykis' show and reported this and said, you know, they've got a Starbucks merchandising store in this mall at the far end of the mall, and it's all the Christmas stuff, all these CDs, everything they couldn't sell And Tom Leykis was laughing his ass off. But that's exactly what's going to happen to Turning Point USA if they're not careful. So I don't want to rant about this, but it is funny to watch this happen. And again, you got to use common sense. You got to use logic and reason to figure things out. Pardon me if I'm stumbling tonight. I'm doing this half awake on the overnight shift here at work, on my downtime. But, folks, you can't be putting yourself in these camps. And it was funny to see Tim Pool come out and say, "Oh, we don't want to be fracturing here. We don't want to split into 5 different parts." Or, 5 different, factions or whatever it is. That's exactly what should happen. That'd be the greatest thing ever. You know why? Because you have diversity of thought. I'm liberal, I'm conservative. What exactly does that mean? Back in the 1850s, 1860s, the Democrats in the South were actually the conservatives, because the GOP is nothing more than a 19th century progressive party. Both these parties are leftist parties cut from the same cloth. They're cut from the same cloth. Because if they weren't leftist parties, if they really use common sense, logic, and reason, they wouldn't be sending all this money to Israel, whatever the country is. They'd focus more on the United States. Oh, I just bumped into something. Sorry about that. I'm doing this in real time. It is what it is. But they would be focusing on the homeland. They wouldn't be sending all this money to Israel or this country or that country. And Officer Tatum, now he's losing it. So I figured I'd jump in the game, because I have this YouTube channel. I love doing this YouTube channel, and I do it for fun. Now, I have my opinion about things. I research stuff. You may not agree with me. That's fine. I welcome that. Fine. I may not agree with you, may never agree with you, but at least I let you speak. And yes, when I get a chance, I read the comments. May not always be able to respond to them because of my schedule with work, but I do make a point to read the comments, and sometimes your comments inspire these videos. So this is a good time to say thank you for watching, subscribing, being a part of this thing called the Culture Confederacy. But I don't want to rant on, like I said. Let's get to the news of the day, our Oddly Friday news segment. But thank you again for watching, subscribing, being a part of this thing called the Culture Confederacy. My concluding thought here is use logic and reason to figure things out. Stop calling yourself liberal or conservative. Stop having these fights. And if you want to split up in 5 factions, go for it. More diversity is better. So over at UPI, now if you're new to the channel, me to say this, I say this on every video, you're not going to find any fancy graphics. You're not going to see me come here on camera. You're not going to see my face. I'm not going to go, look at me, look at how shredded I am. You see all those bodybuilding videos, people judging each other. I don't do that here. So what you see is what you get. It's a still shot, my voice, news of the day. We try to preserve great art, music, and culture. I told you I can't talk tonight. And the reason why is because I write music in my spare time, and I don't want to be censored like Nick Fuentes, and I don't want to end up like Shostakovich in Russia. I was never a fan of the music of Shostakovich, but his music was being censored in Russia under the Soviet regime. Is that where we want to go? So at any rate, UPI, Ozzy Osbourne Pumpkin Mosaic breaks Guinness World Record. Now this is located at Sunnyfields Farm in Southampton. And this is an arrangement of hundreds of pumpkins and squashes covering an area of 2,281 feet. That's a lot of pumpkins, that's a lot of squash, and that's a lot of Ozzy Osbourne. Sotheby's is auctioning off a solid gold toilet. You heard that right, solid gold toilet, sculpted by Italian artist Maurizio Catalan. And the art piece is called America. It has a starting price of $10 million. $10 million for the golden toilet. Would you pay $10 million for a golden toilet? As long as it flushes right? According to the Shepherd Express, a cat named Ray Ray did not want to be... By the way, happy Halloween. But over the Shepherd Express, a cat named Ray Ray did not want to be left behind when his owners took a 100-mile trip from Kittanning, Pennsylvania, I believe it is, to Keene, New Hampshire. So apparently, Tony DiNardo, the owner of this cat named Ray Ray, 8 years old, by the way, found the feline clinging to the van's roof when the family stopped for a bathroom break, found the cat hidden between the luggage strapped to the vehicle's rooftop. but all is well, and they might even write a book about it. So good to hear that Ray Ray is okay. Over at Yahoo News, world's most expensive coffee goes on sale in Dubai. $1,000 a cup. $1,000 cup of coffee. How many ounces is that you're getting? 6, 8? You ever notice that with your coffee maker at home? They tell you got 12 cups. But come on, you know it's 6, okay? You know it's 6 cups. There's no way it could be 12 cups. Now, the pricey blend comprises of Panamanian beans, which sell at a premium to start with, and they're served at the Juliet Cafe located in an industrial neighborhood chock full of coffee aficionados. There you go. Get them where it hurts. Get them with their wallet, the pocketbook. And did you hear about the thieves who have been arrested in Madrid for stealing over 1,100 chairs from outdoor venues such as restaurants and bars? This also happened in another nearby municipality. This is over at the AP. Now, this happened within the past 2 months, and the perps involved 6 men and 1 woman who stole the chairs in the dead of night. And finally, a sad story to report. 3 monkeys still on the loose after a truck overturned on a Mississippi highway. Did you hear about this one? The truck was carrying 8 rhesus monkeys. 5 were unfortunately shot and killed that got loose, according to the sheriff's deputy's office. This happened Tuesday after the driver mistakenly told them that the primates were infected with COVID-19, Hep C, and herpes. Now, the 3 other monkeys are still on the loose, as far as I know here, according to the latest information. Somebody can give me an update in the comment section below. And according to the Jasper County Sheriff, Randy Johnson, he apologized for the monkeys being mistakenly put down and said it was a whole misunderstanding. So we still got monkeys on the loose. We got $1,000 cups of coffee. We got the right wing falling apart, and we've got a golden toilet selling for $10 million over at Sotheby's. Life is great. It's fantastic. So tell me what you think in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Follow me at Instagram, #JasonComposes, because I write music in my spare time. Go to X, Culture Confederacy, Culture Confed 1 on X. Now you can find me at Substack. If I didn't already say that, as I said, I'm doing this on the overnight shift. So thank you for being with me. God bless. Keep up the culture, and y'all have a great late Friday night, early Saturday morning. Take care.